gentlemen, like a fine sip of wine, your favorite cross-stitch pattern, finishing the last stitch, working on your favorite sweater pattern, knitting on a warm or cool, breezy day, or having a nice cup of coffee in the bright, sunny, early morning hours. One must savor those special moments. Therefore, I say, hats off to Flossmas. Hello, happy Flossmas Day 23. It's the penultimate day before Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to all those who are celebrating Hanukkah. I believe yesterday was the first day of Hanukkah. I could be wrong, but I believe yesterday was the first day of Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas penultimate day eve. Happy whatever else you're celebrating. Maybe you're not celebrating anything. Happy non-celebratory day. Anyways, hope you're all having a great day. It is Monday here, my first day of official no work because it's a weekday. Yet I have been extremely busy. I have been up since 4:30 in the morning because that's now my new normal of getting up early. I did go to bed early yesterday, so went to bed about 10 o'clock, got up at 4:30. And I have been busy. Just as you saw in the previous clip, I made some ice cream. I put it in the freezer. It's now hardening. This is my very first time ever making ice cream in the ice cream maker, even though it's been sitting in my closet for about 2 years. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it turns out well. Don't really know what I'm doing with that because it's a different type of machine than I know from my childhood days, so I'm hoping that it turns out well. We will see in a little while, and hopefully maybe I can make another batch before tomorrow, because what I have to do is I take out the thing that it mixes in, and I have to freeze that too. So we will see. It takes a while to you can't make too much at one time with this machine. So today has been one of those days where I've just been kind of space cadet-y, kind of all over the place, not really focused on one thing, and I've been having a hard time focusing. So I've been kind of like up and trying to stitch, and then I'll be up and wandering around, and then sitting back down to stitch. So not a whole lot of progress has happened. But first, let me get to one other thing real quick. I have been requested, a lot of people have been asking me, what is an afterthought heel? I keep mentioning whenever I show my socks about afterthought heels. So, be right back. I meant to be prepared and I wasn't. So, an afterthought heel, a typical heel, like a heel and gusset, the initial type of way of learning to knit socks is doing a heel and gusset. This is the very first pair of socks I made. And so this is a heel and gusset. So you'll see that you have your heel and then your gusset. So your heel and gusset, and it looks like this. This is what your heel looks like. I am not I do not really care for the look of this type of heel. And so I don't like to stitch. I also don't like to stitch them. I think they're kind of annoying to stitch. So I have learned that my preferred method is to knit the afterthought heel. So the afterthought heel is almost like knitting a toe, but at the heel. And it looks like this when it's knit up. And I prefer the look of this. I prefer the feel of it on my foot. This is my own personal preferences. And to me, it's a whole lot easier to knit. It's a little bit more work whenever you have to knit it because you have to I'll explain it in a minute. But this is what the afterthought heel looks like. So to me, the look of the heel and gusset is just a little, to me personally, a little messier and not as store-bought like as an afterthought heel. So here's an example of what the toe looks like. So you can see it's similar in ways of what the toe is versus the heel. So the difference is that you have to, where's my other sock now? Aha. You have to knit, what you do is you knit in some waste yarn, and you can see this, no, where's it at? Way up here, this dark gray, right here, this dark gray line that doesn't match is my waste yarn. So what I do is I knit in half of my waste yarn, or a half around of waste yarn, and then I go back over and I knit over top of that, and that way the space is in there for where my heel will go. So basically what you do is you knit an entire tube then, and then at the end you go back in. You have to pull that out, so then you have the stitches to put on your needles to knit in your afterthought heel. Now, the pattern that I have for my afterthought heel, I'm not exactly sure what the name of that pattern is. However, there are many patterns on Ravelry that you can find that include the afterthought heel. There might even be a pattern that just says afterthought heel. I don't know, but I have a pattern that is a free pattern that I was able to pick up off of Ravelry that uses the afterthought heel, that has taught me the afterthought heel, and now I just have it from memory and I'm able to knit the afterthought heel. So whenever I'm ready to go ahead and knit this in, I will go ahead and pull out that waste yarn by picking up the stitches. And there's different methods of even doing that. There's other methods that you can just cut a line in through there. I don't do that. I like to put in the waste yarn. So there's different methods. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what is an afterthought heel, because many people have been asking. So I hope that helps. If you have any more additional questions, I'd be glad and happy to talk about it on another video. Put it in the comments below and let me know if you are interested in that. So, some socks. My very first sock. Still wear them, love them. I wear them more around the house because I knit them they're a little bit too big, and now I knit a much smaller gauge sock. So, yeah. Okay. Then I did some knitting, or no, I'm sorry, I did some stitching today. So I have been working on my Thea Governor London. This is a cityscape of London on Black Ada. I've also had another comment asking me, where do I find all of the building patterns that I like to stitch? A lot of the patterns that I find are European-based companies. The Governor is from the Netherlands. And so sometimes I buy a lot of the kits, and they're kit patterns is what you have to do. You have to buy kits. And so this is a kit. This is a Thea Governor kit. This was given to me by the Thea Governor company to do reviews on. My channel, I've already put those videos up on my channel a couple years ago because I've had this a couple years. This is what the pattern looks like whenever you get it. You can either stitch it on white linen or the Black Ada. So I'm stitching it on the Black Ada because I prefer the way it pops on the black, and I don't mind stitching on Ada. And remember, I was trying to fill in this tower, this one right here between my fingers. And here is where I have gotten to. So I've gotten a good bit done, not a whole lot done, because one thing I have remembered about this type of pattern is that compared to Autumn Forest Quaker, is that what it's called? Yeah, Autumn Forest Quaker, or that butterfly that I just did, this type of stitching is a completely different style of stitching and a completely different pattern, way of reading patterns, and I had to retrain my brain. So it's going a little bit slower than I'm used to stitching, plus I've been a little scatterbrained, but here is where I am at. And I am super happy with how this is turning out so far. So what I have done since yesterday is, because I didn't get any more, actually I don't think I stitched on this at all yesterday, now that I think about it, because I went over to my friend's house for dinner. We watched a couple episodes of The Crown, and I don't think I stitched yesterday. So this is what I did this morning when I woke up since 4:30. I completely filled in this round of the grayish brown part of the circular part here underneath the spire. And then those same colors are right here. So I went ahead and filled the same colors in here. I also started, there's some blues in here. I started to fill them in down here as well, but then I realized that this is starting to be where's it at over here? The gate, or like the lamppost on the gate. And I wasn't ready to start working on that. So I stopped doing that. I'm only focusing on this one specific building because I want to see progress. And in order for me to see progress, I have to hone in and work on specific sections of the pattern. So next I have to fill in these sections of between the columns, continue working on down here. And then this part, because here is the first column of that building, I have to continue working down into this section here. So that is what I'm going to continue working on as we move on into the next couple days. Now, to be honest, I don't expect to get a whole lot of stitching or any crafting progress. I'm going to get a little bit of progress done in the next couple days. I don't expect to get a whole lot of progress done just because tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I have Christmas Eve service at church. I'm going to be doing some cleaning and prep work here at the house since I'm hosting Christmas Day. My friend and I. So I'm going to hopefully get some food prep done tomorrow. I have to clean. So I have some non-crafting stuff that I have to do. I also have some video stuff that I need to continue working on. So a lot of those things are going to take some time away from my crafting. And therefore, I'm just not going to have a whole lot of time to be working on this stuff. And tonight I'm going up north to Trenton to meet another friend for dinner. So, you know, life is getting in the way, and that's perfectly fine. I'm on vacation, but I will have limited amount of time to be working on some stuff. So I'm going to continue working on this at least for the next couple of days because I'm really enjoying it now that I'm starting to get my brain retrained. And we'll go from there. But yeah, super excited about that. So that is where we are at on London. And that's all the progress I have for you today, guys and gals. So until we meet again tomorrow on Christmas Eve, I hope you all have a great day stitching and crafting. If you haven't hit subscribe yet and you are a returning customer to my channel, I would encourage you to do so just because it helps me out. Also, make sure you hit that like button, the thumbs up button, the like button, just because it does help me out. And as always, I really would appreciate if you do watch the ads that are on my channel. It is going to be helping me out in the process of building up my business that I'm working on doing for this coming spring. I did put out a video this morning about some looking for model stitchers. If you haven't checked that out yet, I would love for you to go and check that out. And I'm seeking out some individuals to support me in stitching up some models this spring. So if you are interested, definitely go check out that video. And until we see each other again, as always, don't forget to always be creative.